Back in 2013, I believe I was 15 years old, and I spent the night at my uncle and auntie house, and I had a conversation with my uncle, God bless the dead, and we talked till about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember aunt telling me, man, God gonna be doing something in your life, man. God gonna be using you for some things. You know what I'm saying? God is about to change your life in ways that you don't even understand, right? And I remember just listening to aunt. You know what I mean? Like I remember just me being young, me knowing that, all right, man, after I spend the night over here, I'm finna go back home and I gotta fight. I gotta fight, all that, right? But I remember just listening to aunt, and I remember getting a certain amount of peace from what he was saying, even though I wasn't really fully aware of, you know what I'm saying, God and the way God moved and what God was gonna be doing in my life, right? Man, okay, very next day we went to church, man. Spent an amazing day in church. See, what y'all don't know is, man, I was really involved in the streets, but I was really involved in the church, right? I was really involved in the choir. You know what I'm saying? I was tenors. Anybody that know that choir, man, you know, that tenors, that's third row for real, you know what I mean? And I remember, man, we spent the whole day at church, man, and that same day my uncle had a heart attack in church, and shortly after I found out aunt died. But fast forward, man, you know, still went home, still had to fight, still had to do all that, right? But I ain't had no choice but to remember what uncle told me. Uncle told me, man, God got a plan for my life. You know, God about to be doing some things and stuff like that. And then what? And after that, I ain't gonna lie, man, I ain't go to church after that. I ain't go to church after that for a while, like, you know, until fast forward, I got invited to church by, you know, I ain't gonna speak on, but I ended up going back to church and stuff like that. But ever since that moment, I knew that God was real. You know what I'm saying? Even when I got stabbed, even when went homeless a few times, even when I was involved in shootouts with bullets flying past my head, coming through doors, and you know what I'm saying? Even in the moments where I ain't even care about living, you know, God still kept me covered. It's by God's grace and mercy that I'm still here. So I don't say this to boast or flex. I say this to say, man, God kept me covered. And if anybody knew me from back then, like back then when I was reckless and thinking for real, anybody know what I'm talking about when I say about them shootouts? It's some people that know, that witnessed that. And I want you to know, my brothers, my sisters that knew me before this, like, man, if you actually knew me before all this, bro, you know, like, man, bro was swinging on people, man, bro was out in the streets for real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Getting kicked out of school and getting into fights, getting into shootouts and doing all kind of stupid stuff, right? Anybody that know me before, y'all know how I was. But I say that to say, identify where I'm at right now in Christ. Identify that Christ saved my life. And if you, especially if you knew me back then, you knew how me and little bro was getting down. If you knew who I was before, and somehow, some way you witnessing the rise, my boast in Christ, you know it's real, man. If Christ did it for me, man, he'll do it for you. I don't know your story, but I do know that God love you. I ain't trying to say your pain ain't justified, but I do know it's best that you let it go, forgive them and forgive yourself, and keep going, man.